Pro Stock, the factory hot rods. Their season came down to two men vying for the world title. Warren Johnson of Norcross, Georgia, has won 3 races in a row coming into the World Finals. Lee Shepard, Arlington, Texas, the Rear and Morrison Camaro. If he wins the world title, he'll be the first to ever win 4 consecutive times. The points are so close that the driver that goes furthest in eliminations today will be the world champion. If they both were to go out in the same round, then Warren Johnson would be the world champion. This was earlier in first round action. Warren Johnson in the near lane was out first over Ricky Smith in the Ford Thunderbird, but suddenly Warren Johnson does not have his usual power. It is Ricky Smith in a tremendous upset at 789 to a very slow for Warren 7.97. So back in the staging lanes, Lee Shepard knew what he had to do. If he could, here in the first round, defeat Joe Lapone, he would retain his number 1, be the first driver to ever win the Pro Stock title 4 times in a row. So the World Championship came down to this first round race. It is Lee Shepard and Joe Lapone. Joe Lapone is out first. Shepard not wanting to risk a red light. Shepard drives around. He is the new world champion at 7.71 seconds to a losing 779. So the Lee Shepard Rear and Morrison crew very happy as they head back to the pits, and Lee Shepard has now advanced to the semi-final round of Pro Stock, and that's where we pick up the action. And this crowd of 30,000 plus is ready for the first race in the semifinals. It pits 2 Trans Ams against each other. In the near lane is Butch Leal of Black Lick, Ohio. In round number 1, Butch got around the powerful Chrysler car of Reed Wisnett, and in round number 2, it was Butch Leal, for many years known as the California Flash, getting by Ronnie Manchester. Were it not for a back problem suffered some years ago, Butch Leal might well have become a professional golfer. He still can shoot a scratch game. His opponent over in the far lane, Don Coonce, has done very well in this season of professional drag racing. He finished number 6 last year, could finish even higher if he gets by Leal here in the semis. So leaping towards the starting line where they'll stage is Don Coonce in the far lane, Butch Leal in the near lane. Now these are 500 cubic inch motors, that's the maximum, 2,350 pounds with the driver, 4-speed transmissions. Butch Leal is known as an artist on that starting line. Let's see if he can get away first over Don Coonce. Moving up very carefully, they'll bring the engines up to almost 9,000 RPMs and literally slide that left foot off the clutch. Leal is ready. Don Coonce is finally ready. Don Coonce leaves too soon. A red light disqualifies the car in the far lane. Butch Leal goes on to the final round of the Winston World Finals. The black car in the near lane wins it at 7.74 seconds and even 180 miles an hour. Watch the tree, you see the lights, and before the circuit was complete to green, Don Coonce moved. It bypassed green and went right to red for instant disqualification of Don Coonce. Coonce was gambling there. He did not have quite the performance of Butch Leal and just thought, if I get the whole shot. Well, here is Etta Glidden lining up her husband Bob Glidden in the Ford in the near lane, and this is the Pro Stock race the fans came to see. Bob Glidden and Lee Shepard, the two responsible for 9 world championships between them. Bob Glidden of Whiteland, Indiana, in the 711 Cheap Auto Parts Ford Thunderbird, a very aerodynamically sound car. And here's the man who today clinched his 4th world title, very soft-spoken Lee Shepard of Arlington, Texas. Shepard will wear the number 1 for at least 1 more year. Shepard in the far lane, Glidden in the near lane. We'll watch to see if there's an advantage for either driver. They leave right together. Lee Shepard in the far lane trying to match wheels with Glidden, but Glidden is starting to stretch it out. It is going to be Bob Glidden. Low elapsed time of the day. Etta is more than pleased. 762 at 181 miles an hour. Lee Shepard knew it was all over at half track and just threw in the towel, coasting through at 8.04 seconds. The crowd is